Then hello everyone and welcome back to the TBM Horror crew. Today I have with me Larry, my beloved friend from the Horror Fan Club Kenya, that by now you already know we love making lives on Fridays, not miss out. And we never talk what we're supposed to talk about. Right,
Yes,
Larry? How
yes,
are you?
yes. I am perfect. It's good to see you.
Yes.
It's been a while. It has
Mm.
been a while. Oh my gosh, it has been forever. But it's such a pleasure having me
Be-
here.
because you've been so busy doing cool things in Kenya
Ah,
without
we
me.
try. We are trying to force the horror genre down people's throats here in Kenya. Like whether you like it or not, we love horror. Like who
That's
cares who
amazing.
you
They
are?
just had a camp, right,
Ah,
with
yes,
people. How
yes.
fun is that? I'm so jealous.
Oh, the camp was amazing. It was just so superb. Like I was telling you earlier on, like it was just one of those experiences that you remember bits of it every single day as days go by because you
Yes.
can't just it was just an overload of like excitement and adrenaline. It was just amazing. And thank you for all those who made it. It was amazing.
That's
See them.
great. You can find all the videos and images on their Instagram that we're gonna put on the description box below. And today
Yes.
you chose the topic, the horror on
Yes.
social media. That's a hot
Yeah.
one.
That's the thing, like, because it has been on my mind for like a
Mhm.
couple of days. The thing I brought this up, the reason why I brought this up is because like,
Yeah.
um, recently, like a lot of people, there's been this huge influx of like people on social media trying
Mm.
to, find their niche, find what
Yes.
gets them viral, find what gets them ticking. So
Mm.
I just happened to stumble like one YouTuber. I don't want to say his name, but he was reposting like original horror footages.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So like it got to a point like at the beginning the earlier videos that he began with were actually like videos that were gotten from like let's say what are they called, this um CCTVs,
Yes.
or like doorbell cameras. But once there can only be like so much of that, So
Yeah.
like he started like staging some of this,
Uh-huh.
videos. So he would, for instance, like stage a video and just like post it as a like, oh, we found this footage, oh, this was recorded,
Yeah.
you won't believe what happened. And especially when it comes to horror, like there's very little that you can do to, like investigate. So
Uh-huh.
like I feel a lot of horror practitioners are or rather horror social media people are struggling. Like we are
Yes.
struggling to keep the genre relevant,
Hmm.
apart from them, because you can't like plagiarize movies, you can't plagiarize podcasts, you can't plagiarize like
Yeah.
music. So, and creating content then again in itself is hard. So I was like, why are we what are we not doing? What are we not seeing? Like, it's so hard to be like you, Mar, have your website, so you have that to go back. You have like interesting conversations you're having with people,
Mm.
and I think that's the first way to go. Like it's not all about just terrifying people as a horror, if you
Yeah.
identify with the horror genre. Like you can have conversations as we do on our lives. You can
Hmm.
have like takes, you can have reviews of movies. You just don't have to, oh, I'm a horror person, I'm a horror guru, join my channel and be scared. You won't believe what happened at minute 2. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Let's stop trying too hard. That's all I can say. Let us stop trying too hard. Like it makes the horror genre like more, it makes it more dense. It makes it less dense rather. It's just
Yes, I agree. It's like I think there's two kinds of horror fans or horror, not creators, but on social media, the people that share things on horror. I think that there's the people that takes it like something, I don't know how to say it, like a costume kind of thing, like what you were saying, that you have to be all with your makeup on and make all these cosplay kind of things and be a very gothic person. And then there's the person that likes horror that you would never tell that they like
Yeah.
horror, which are the scary ones.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and those are the ones that also have different kind of conversations, and that they are the experts, and they are about the old movies, maybe the actors or the novels. I don't know. I think there's these two different ways of conversation in the
Yes.
horror, and you can see that on social media. The ones
Yeah.
that
And
just, yeah, share by the sake of sharing horror things, and the person that maybe points something out on a tweet or something like that. Hmm.
yeah, yeah. But forgive me if I'm wrong. Let me just reiterate, like the kind of people
Hmm.
I have like a bone to chew with. Creating original content is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Repurposing original content is also okay.
Yeah.
But the people I have a problem with is the people who fabricate something and claim it to be original content. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes.
Like
Mm-hmm.
faking videos, faking interviews. Um, what else?
Yeah.
Like just let us, because that is what makes us look so desperate, for lack of a better word. Like if it's okay if you're going to do cosplay, if you have like really good
Hmm.
makeup skills, do that, repurpose it. It's amazing. But
Yeah.
don't be the kind of person, like I said in my previous example, who stages videos for the sake of it's like those tiny scare jump scare
Yeah.
videos, the ones
Yeah.
that, oh, something interesting is happening and then boom, a spider jumps into your face. I have more respect for those kind of videos than people who stage paranormal activities. Oh, paranormal, my door
Yeah.
just opened by its own, and then we see you have like a wire taped to the bottom of your door frame, just you pulling it. I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no, that's
It
not
seems that it's like using horror just for the sake of traffic, for example,
exactly,
right?
exactly, exactly.
It's not because they really feel it, but because there's a
Mhm.
lot, the community is huge, and it's something people just look at.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's quite an interesting subject, this one,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I am managing all the social media platforms and everything for the website, and I see lots of things on horror. And one of the what, more or less going with what you said, I see lots of things that they are not horror. They are not. They are like romance, or maybe just plain fantasy, this kind of things. And I think that they make the genre liquid, like,
Yeah,
we're losing the essence of
yeah,
horror.
exactly, exactly. And that
Mm.
is what oh my goodness, now you've made me go down deeper into this rabbit hole. Because then
Hmm.
again, like nowadays, I met a friend of mine like very recently. It's not about the social media people posting TikToks and whatnot, but I asked him what's the most terrifying thing you've seen lately on the internet, and then
Hmm.
he pulls up his phone and then he shows me like a recent it's they were like it was a vlog of like a couple of people. It was like 4 minute vlog of like people who are sort of trying to replicate the Blair Witch Project, and it was
Ah.
like a really copy pasted like sort of found footage video. I was like, this is what is, because it was more or less like it wasn't horror. It was more of like, oh, this couple is going
Yeah.
to the mountains to have a good time, and oh, they saw something creepy, so they start talking about that creepy thing. I'm like, okay, like nothing
Yeah.
literally happened in the video, but to them, it's to my friend, it's scary. I'm like, this is not horror, this is just like
No.
a very shitty romantic video for some
Yeah, kind of
for lack of
thriller
a
kind of
better
thing.
word. Exactly. Like the genre, I feel like just recently it has been watered down very, 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 very much. And partly what who I want to blame. I hope this doesn't get me into trouble, but mainstream mainstream horror. Like, look, I
Yeah.
just today morning I saw on iHorror website they posted like there's going to be a season 2 of Chucky. Like
Yeah, yeah, I know.
the
Yeah.
I was like, wait, weren't people done with season one? Like, I didn't watch it. Like, clearly,
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
it wasn't the very definition of the original like Chucky series, but the way we see also like mainstream like large horror companies just trying to milk out the horror genre, it makes it more dilute, and that is what like new generations are trying to copy paste, and the
yes.
cycle just continues. It's like just having a glass of water and having a glass of milk, half, and then putting the glass of milk in water and then putting that mixture into another glass of
Yeah,
water, and then the
yeah,
cycle just continues.
yes,
In the end,
yes.
I doubt there'll be like any legit horror channel that will really scare people in the future days. I don't know.
Yes, and I think that's because the horror channels, they want to they want people to have fun and not to be scared.
We don't want to have fun. We don't want to have
Yeah,
fun.
exactly. And it's like a lot of horror movies that I watch because I enter on Netflix or Amazon Prime or any of these platforms and I look for horror. What's the latest horror or not or older from 5 6 years ago? And lots
Mhm.
of them they're so disappointing. Like, where is the horror? Why is this horror? No, and why is
Mm.
it sorted as horror on these platforms? And sometimes I have commented this with someone and they're like, no, but that was terrifying. Like,
um,
no, it wasn't. It's like a thriller. I mean, it's okay that you don't like terrifying horror, but the terrible thing is that when a horror fan looks for a horror movie, 80% of the
mhm.
time you're disappointed. So why is that
Exactly.
happening? Because it's all commercial. They want to
Yes.
get to a wider audience. The
Yes.
thriller, the fantasy ones, they can stand a tiny level of horror. So it's all
Exactly.
about money. It's all about it.
Exactly. And if I may ask, like, what's your when it comes to social media, leave alone like movies, mainstream movies, and whatnot. Like when you enter like these social media platforms like Facebook,
Mm.
TikTok, Instagram, what's your um preferred where do you go to in terms of like satiating your horror cravings, so to speak?
It's very difficult because I don't think I have one. I don't think I go sometimes I check out the channels from big titans of the horror and I'm even disappointed with that because the big ones they are all commercial. I mean, for example, I love someone talking about traditional horror. For example, things
Mm-hmm.
that I don't. I'm always looking for people on my website to talk about things I don't know about. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, everyone can make a review about The Conjuring, for example, which I love. I
Mm-hmm.
like The Conjuring, but I mean anyone because it's something current. But
Yeah.
when I find someone, sometimes I have found someone to make me reviews of movies I didn't even know about, like the ones I commented, the attack of the haunted bed or the attack of the killer tomatoes that we talk about. You know, I mean, and the people that can talk about those movies, they are amazing. Like, and it's things that you cannot find in the social media horror today. They'll talk about
Yeah.
Elvira and Frankenstein and the monster and the Adams. It's like talking about the Adams family. I love them and I
Oh, I
love
love them
I
too.
love Morticia so much and I love everyone so much. But it's like a kind of romantic thing, the Adams. They don't
Yeah.
scare you, they invite you to poisoned tea. It's
Yes.
and I love them so much, so much. Please, no one get upset. I love the Adams family,
Mhm.
but when I'm looking for a horror, I'm looking for something that steals my sleep.
Yes. Okay, then again, for me when I go, it's either I'm looking for something that will not make me sleep,
Hmm.
and then again, I also nowadays I found myself just looking for horror knowledge, so to speak. I
Yeah.
just try to look for things that will fascinate me, not per se scare me, but just interesting stories that will fascinate me. Like recently, I went to someone's TikTok, and they were doing like thorough research and reviews from movies, and they mentioned in their TikTok about a movie called, was it Antrum? I don't know if you've watched it.
No,
It's
no.
supposedly the deadliest movie ever made,
Huh?
apparently,
Okay.
whereby like it was released I really like in the 90s, early 90s, and then like supposedly 50 people died in the theater during its screening because it burnt down. The tapes
Whoa.
was banned. It resurfaced and was digitized
Yeah.
recently in 2019. So like that kind of content is what
Yeah.
intrigues me nowadays. Like you
Hmm.
can see it's still tied to what happened long ago. Nowadays, horror is more of storytelling than just plain old jump scares. So, like,
Yes.
I think that is what a lot of content creators should focus
Hmm.
on. I mean, you don't have to like, oh, boom, something that scares me. No, just tell me something that
Yes.
once I go to sleep, I'll be like, wow,
Yes.
that happened. Like
Yes.
that will sit with me for a while. I think leaving a lasting impact is more efficient when it comes
Yes.
to horror than just like a short like 5 second adrenaline high and then that's it.
Yes, because that doesn't last. That doesn't steal your
Mm.
sleep. It's just a moment.
Yeah.
But if I was doing something and someone comes behind and yells in my ear, I would jump the same. I mean, it's not about you being scared. It's about you not
Uh-huh.
expecting something, you know. But that's what
Yeah.
you say. The real horror is something that grows slowly in your mind. Like you start
Exactly.
to realize, like in the movies, that last character that ends up realizing that it's something supernatural, that
Mhm.
change in their minds when it's well done, because otherwise it's just trash. But if it's well done
Yeah.
and the actor or actress is good,
Uh-huh.
that change in their minds, like, then maybe it's something more. And I think to me,
Exactly.
the scariest horror is the one that implies the human malice.
Ah.
Because I think, for
Mm.
example, a demon can be scary. There's a lot of movies about certain demons, but demons are evil
Yeah.
inherently. I mean, they're evil. But when there's, for example, a witch, a good witch played, you know, the
Mm.
witch doesn't only have the malice of the demon, because witches go through demons,
Mhm.
it's also her own malice, that they have no compassion at all. They can kill people, they can
Yeah.
cut them to pieces, they can torture them to get what they want, you know.
Mhm.
And that kind
Yeah.
of malice, it's even scarier, because you say, you face a demon, you know you're in trouble, something's gonna happen, they you know,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, there's no compassion in there. But when you face a
Yeah.
person, you never know if they are have the capacity to be compassionate or not, or and when they, I don't know how to say, these characters that they allow themselves to be possessed by something evil, and they enjoy it, and they are gonna
Yeah.
drag to hell everyone around them. I think that's,
Yeah.
to me, that's what's really scary, because if you take it to real life, so to speak, you never know who's like that, you know.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
I think, to me, that's the scary thing, like, who can you trust?
Exactly, like
Yes.
humans, essentially humans. Now you made me start thinking. You made me start to think like
Hmm.
horror began with humans. Like think about it this way. Like for horror to exist, the aspect of fear has to exist, and the aspect of fear is only emanates from human beings, from our consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So if all of us were like, for instance, I don't know, animals like cats and dogs, most of
Yeah.
those have conscious. Like if you were just like, if we are the, or like maybe even demons aren't bad, I don't know, maybe they're not bad, but since we associated them with evil
Yeah.
things, maybe that's what made them bad. I don't know. Okay, I'm derailing. Let me just stop there. Let me just stop there. But my point is, like, horror began with the human aspect and the human being, and
Hmm.
I think the reason why you gravitate towards like horror that is more has more human elements is because we are the like originators of of horror itself. Maybe even
Hmm.
demons are afraid of us because you know
Yeah.
we are mean people.
Nah. Yeah, there's a lot of mean people in the world. Yes.
I don't know where I was going with that conversation, but
But here we
uh,
are.
but here we are.
Yes.
I'll refine that argument better and maybe have it in our live. Like I'll dig deeper into the origins of horror and its
Yes.
relation to like the human psychology. Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just like the fact that there's some people that love blood and guts, and
Yeah.
there are people that they just don't care about that. I mean, I'm one of them.
Hmm.
I don't care about blood. I mean, I like it in a horror movie. It's always fun. Something fun, you know. But I
Yes.
don't
Yes.
get disgusted because of anything like that. It's more of a
Uh-huh.
psychological thing. But because I'm like that, there will be the person
Yeah.
who really saw some, I don't know, some corpse cut in half or something, and they're like, "Ugh." Well, everyone is, it's different for everyone. That's the fun of horror.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. True. True.
So,
Oh.
uh,
Anyway.
and I think we're running out of time.
Let us. I want us to keep it short so that people can't like leave the conversation midway. But as maybe as we wrap up, if you allow me to say,
Yeah, of course.
based on today's topic, like I believe, just as horror creators, if you want to create content that is horror, just make it original. If you're
Hmm.
repurposing it, give it a new perspective to it, like what Ma does, like towards like people who reach out to you for like promoting their books, their
Hmm.
films, their audio books or whatever. Like just give it a new touch and then just stop making
Yeah.
fake things. Stop making fake things, horror creators. Stop
Yeah.
baiting people. We are done with the days of like click and bait. Just do
Yeah. Stop
something
being
genuinely horror.
commercial.
And
Yes.
stop being commercial as well.
Stop being
That's my first
commercial.
take.
Yes.
That's my
Absolutely
first
agree.
take.
Absolutely agree. We'll have
Yeah.
to go on with this conversation because it's so interesting.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Yes.
Probably even in the live later on. Who
Yes,
knows?
exactly. Don't miss out. We'll put everything in the box.
Yeah.
And well, we have to leave it here because of the time, but we need to
Mhm.
go on this. And thank you so
Yes.
much again. It's always a pleasure and so
Ah,
fun to talk to you.
it's a pleasure as well for having me. This is the first YouTube I'll ever be on. It has been amazing. I love it. I love it. Two more.
Yeah,
Two more.
to
Two
more.
more. Yes.
Okay, then we'll
Ah.
put everything below so you can find their channel, Horror Fan Club Kenya. They have so cool material. And we will talk also about African folklore, which is so interesting and so scary. So we'll know more soon. And thank you so much for hearing us and for staying with us till the end. We'll see you soon with more cool material. For anything else, sorry, I said it wrong. For anything else, just check our website or social media. All the horror you can find, it's on our website. Thank you. Bye bye.
Yay.